A missionary is a member of a religious organization sent to propagate its religion or deliver services like education, literacy, social justice, healthcare, and economic development. Jesus Christ speaks the term in the Latin Bible when he sends followers to spread the gospel in his name. The phrase is most often used for Christian missions, although it may relate to any belief or philosophy. The term mission came from the Latin missionum, nom. Missio, meaning act of sending, or mittera, meaning to send, when Jesuits sent members overseas in 1598. Some who perceive a missionary charge in the Buddhist wheel, which is meant to tour the world spreading Buddhism. Ashoka was a Buddhist missionary. In the 3rd century BCE, monarch Ashoka ordered Dharmaraksita to spread Buddhism over the Maurya Empire and into Greece. India and Ceylon were gradually converted. Buddhism extended to Burma, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Indonesia. Buddhism extended to modern-day Pakistan, Kashmir, Afghanistan, eastern and coastal Iran, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Tajikistan between the 2nd and 3rd century BCE. Lokaksema and Enshurgao translated Buddhist sutras into Chinese in the 2nd century CE. Dharmaraka translated Buddhist texts into Chinese. Dharmaraksa traveled to Luoyang, China, around 266 CE and translated the Lotus Sutra and Dasabhumika Sutra, which became classics of Chinese Mahayana Buddhism. Dharmaraksa translated 154 Naina and Mahayana Sutras, most of the Western Buddhist literature. His evangelizing converted many Chinese to Buddhism and established Chang'an, now Xi'an, a Buddhist hub. By 381 majority of northwest China's commoners became Buddhist. By the end of the Tang dynasty, emperors and academics had converted to Buddhism. 4th century Maranatha introduced Buddhism to Korea. Soma Beach, a Buddhist patron in Korea, erected temples and welcomed Indian monks with Buddhist literature. Beach accepted Buddhism in 528. In 534 and 541, he dispatched Liang tribute missions asking artists, Buddhist works, and a teacher. All demands were approved, according Chinese records. In 549, a delegation found the Liang capital in the hands of rebel Ho Jing, who placed them in jail for grieving its fate. In 538, he dispatched a mission to Japan with a Shakyamuni picture and sutras. This is considered Buddhism's formal debut to Japan. Gangji Garan Enji explains. Buddhism grew against the protests of the pro-Shinto Mononobe, and Prince Shotoku Taisho converted to it. Buddhism flourished when Emperor Shomu founded Nara in 710 with a grid design fashioned after Beijing. Padmasambhava, the lotus-born, was a wise teacher from Oina who spread Vajrayana Buddhism in the 8th century. Christian missions and organizations established comparable structures in locations that were originally Buddhist missions. Schopenhauer, Henry David Thoreau, Max Muller, and esoteric organizations like the Theosophical Society of H. P. Blavatsky, the Buddhist Society of Great Britain and Ireland, and the Buddhist Society, London popularized Buddhism in the 19th and 20th centuries. Hermann Hesse, Jack Kerouac, and the hippie generation of the 1960s and 1970s rediscovered Buddhism. In the 20th and 21st centuries, Buddhist missionaries such as Anandamattiya, Theravada, Suzuki Daisetsu Titar, Zen, the Dalai Lama, and Lama Surya Das spread Buddhism in the West, Tibetan Buddhism. Since the Chinese occupation of Tibet in 1959, Tibetan Buddhism has flourished throughout the West. Buddhists are a sizable minority in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the Netherlands, France, and the US. Tibet's Dalai Lama's popularity and goodwill in Canada have helped Buddhism's image. Many non-Asian Canadians have adopted Buddhism and became Sangha leaders. In the early 1990s, the French Buddhist Union, formed in 1986, estimated 600,000 to 650,000 Buddhists in France, including 150,000 converts. Other scholars have questioned Frederick Lenoir's 1999 estimate of 10,000 converts and 5 million sympathizers. Tyson de Chimaru established several French zendos. Vietnamese-born Zen Buddhist Thich Nhat Hanh created the Unified Buddhist Church in France in 1969. His dwelling and international Sangha were in the Dordogne in southern France. Leo Bohr and Wenner van de Wettering started a Zen group in 1968 and popularized Zen with 2 books. Eric Bruin now leads a thriving community. Nico Tideman leads the Kanzeon Sangha under the direction of Dennis Genpo Merzel Rashi, a former pupil of Maizumi Rashi in Los Angeles. An instructor and several pupils reside at this group's huge center. At the Netherlands are the Order of Buddhist Contemplatives in Apeldoorn, the Thich Nhat Hanh Order of Interbeing, and Jayan Hagen Rashi's International Zen Institute Noorderpoort Monastery/Retreat Center in Drenthe. The current Dalai Lama first visited the U.S. in 1979. As Tibet's exiled leader, he's a cause célèbre. Kundin and 7 years in Tibet described his youth. Richard Gere and Adam Yauch are among his fans. Robert A. F. Thurman, a Dalai Lama supporter, was the first Western-born Tibetan Buddhist monk. Namgyal Monastery near Ithaca, New York, is the Dalai Lama's U.S. base.